Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yolanda Melody. Today I want to talk about a film called Silent Night, which I believe could possibly be predictive programming, as are a lot of films, but this one in particular shows a very unique concept that raised some alarm bells for me. The concept of this film is so realistic to me, in the sense that I could totally see a psyop happening in the future that is just like this. Silent Night was released in 2021. It's an apocalyptic, Christmas-themed black comedy, written and directed by Camille Griffin. And the synopsis reads, a couple invite their closest friends to join their family for Christmas dinner at their idyllic home in the English countryside. As the group comes together, it feels like old times, but behind all of the laughter and merriment, something isn't quite right. The world outside is facing impending doom, and no amount of gifts, games, or wine can make mankind's imminent destruction go away. Surviving the holidays just got a lot more complicated. I watched the trailer for this and I thought, yeah, okay, it looks interesting. It was one of those evenings where I was just desperate to find something palatable to watch. For anyone wondering whether it's worth watching or not, I really wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna be putting out loads of spoilers, and I don't even care because the analysis is so much more important than watching this drivel. This video will save you from losing an hour and a half of your life. So, this film doesn't really hot up until about halfway through. The first half feels quite nauseatingly fake, which I think is deliberately overemphasised. But I feel like this film deliberately tries to be relatable to the masses. If you pay attention closely to the dialogue, they do give out clues that something isn't quite right. Kiera Knightly is the main character, she plays the host, and it shows as all of her friends are on their way to her house, she's cooking dinner, but the amount of potatoes that she's cooking in the oven doesn't really seem to be enough for everyone. There's weird parts in the dialogue where, unless you know that it is supposed to be the apocalypse, it doesn't really make sense. And there's all this talk about a pact. And for most of the film you're wondering, what is this pact that they're all talking about? Well, I'm just gonna blow the lid on it now. The pact is that by the end of the night, they're all going to voluntarily take this pill that they know is going to kill them. And the reason that they are so adamant that they're going to do this is because the news has told them that because of climate change, the Earth has decided to get its own back on the people by emitting some form of poisonous gas, which is going to wipe out all of humanity. Supposedly. And the news has told them that this will be the most horrific, painful experience that will kill them all, so their wonderful, loving, kind government has given them this pill so that they can take back control and die with dignity. So now that you know the general premise, I'm just going to touch upon the level of propaganda that is in this film. This film really does tick all of the boxes for woke ideology. There is a general theme where the children are angry at their parents because it's their fault. It's their fault that climate change has happened, they weren't looking after the planet and now they've made the Earth angry. One of the children even makes a reference to Russia, and the kids are kind of arguing amongst each other as to whether it's Russia or climate change that has caused this mass destruction to happen. It really is just nauseating, to be honest. But the reason why I want to talk about this is that this film felt like a repeat performance of something that we all experienced not long ago, which was the pressure in 2021 to take the injection. In this film, most of the family appear to be on the same page, that the best thing to do is to take the pill. However, one girl does not want to take it, and she's perpetually made to feel uncomfortable about making this choice. Later on, the little boy, who is named Art, also starts to question the validity of these claims that humanity is in fact going to be wiped out, and does an entire speech questioning whether the scientists could have made a mistake. This little boy seems to be the only one that's actually speaking sense. Everyone else just seems to be 100% cowardly and brainwashed. They've become so terrified of the idea that they could have this painful, long death that they're not even willing to take the risk to see if it will even happen. Towards the end of the film, the little boy really does start to rebel, and he's met with the biggest amount of pressure from his parents. Now, if you were one of those people in 2021 that stood your ground and chose not to take the needle, you will most likely find this scene very, very relatable, which is what makes this film so alarming, really, is that after what I've seen over the past few years, I've witnessed so many people blindly fall into whatever trap the Gov decides to put out. But anyway, in the heat of this pressuring argument, where the parents are trying to convince the little boy to take the pill, which will essentially kill him, he jumps out of the car and runs into the forest and accidentally walks through this supposed poisonous mist/gas, and you're left thinking, okay, what's gonna happen to him? So it gets towards the end of the film, where everyone decides that now is the time, they're all gonna take the pill together and die with dignity, but by this point the little boy is seen to be already dead. So there's no way for him to take the pill, and I suppose you would say there's no point. And then right at the end, it gets to the next morning, everyone in the house has passed away in their sleep, and suddenly the little boy opens his eyes, essentially telling the viewer that this poisonous mist was in fact not deadly at all. And yet most of the population has took this pill because the news had scared them so much about this imaginary boogeyman. And you kind of just have the thought of, wow, so it was all for nothing. Not only was it all for nothing, but most of humanity had decided to end their own lives. So I do wonder what the message was behind this film. Judging by the fact that it's big budget and there's a lot of mainstream actors in this film, I don't think the purpose generally was to wake people up and open their minds, because the majority of the film was just, in my opinion, showing people how they should act. What does it mean to be a normal person? Well, a normal person listens to the news. A normal person is fake. A normal person lives in this delusional, shallow, superficial world and does what they are told. For anyone who is awake, you will know, or have the suspicion at least, that what we all experienced in 2020 onwards was a test run for future psyops. And a lot of it, I believe, is to just get us used to a new normal. It's normal for your country leader to pressurise you into taking some form of medication for your own health and safety, supposedly. It's normal for your human rights to be violated in the name of health and safety. It's normal for limitations to be put on your travel due to whatever environmental or health problem is the latest trend. I could go on, but I think you get the point. Anyway, have you seen this film? Comment below your thoughts on this video. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Love you, bye!